Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 9 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone had a great day, safe day. Let's make it a great night, folks. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Cultivate wisdom. You don't need to accumulate knowledge to become wise. Anyone can become wise. When you become wise, you respect your body, you respect your mind, and you respect your soul. When you become wise, your life is controlled by your heart, not your head. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow Industrials close up 78, NASDAQ up 33, S&P's up 9, gold contract down $3.10, traded at $1,711 an ounce. $1,711, I like that. Silver down 35 cents at $32.94 an ounce. Platinum up 13 at $1,637 an ounce. Copper down 2 pennies at $3.68 a pound. Light sweet crude up 32 cents, trading at $85.87 a barrel. Bonds down 24 ticks at 148.31. King dollar down 28 ticks at 80.05. Euro up 65 ticks, trading at 130.06, and the yen up 18 at 82.53. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at it. What do you have? Okay, we get to 1434.27. What the S&P was doing here is got into the highs that were generated on the 2nd of November, the highs that were generated on the 6th of November, and the highs, of course, of the downdraft day of the November 7th. We did 669 million versus the 878. So what you have here is this. Failure. That's the bottom line. You got into 3 separate days, actually 4 separate days. Yeah, we went to 4 separate days. We got into the whole trading week, folks, of the 23rd of October all the way over to November 7th. Failed at all those prices with lighter volume. That's your S&P. So we're at 1427. Now let's go over to the Dow Industrials. And remember, it was the Dow Industrials that first took off over the swing point of the December 3rd area first. Okay, so Dow Industrials, Dow gets to 13,306 today, 306, gets over same area, meaning the area from November 1st all the way over to November 7th, and turns around and closes under the first 3 days it was testing, which was the November 1st date, the November 2nd date, and the November 6th date. So we closed at 13,248, and what you do have is that you're still over November 7th date, which is at 13,228. Yeah, so it's 20 points over that area. Bottom line, Dow also failed. Now, NASDAQ Composite. This is where it's going to get interesting. This is why we have harmony in the marketplace here. And what it is specifically, folks, is that the Dow is showing that, yes, it wanted to test that area. NASDAQ did it, failed. S&P did it, failed. And here's the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ closed at 3,022. NASDAQ got to 3,033 today. This is wild how this works, too. So it's 3,033.85. The high out here, bottom 3,033.13, didn't hold it. And what you have is that the spike high that it wanted to go after was the December 3rd high. Also failed with lighter volume. Now, we did 1.8 billion versus 2.3 billion. We go look at the, let's go look at the SPY, just the SPY. What does the SPY do? SPY today does 127 million shares. That's going into the downdraft of 264. We're at 143.44. The spike that it did out here today was the 144.11. You closed under those 2 areas. That says, you know what? That's the end of this counter trend bounce. This is going to get wild, particularly because we have the Fed announcement tomorrow, but it looks to me like this is not going to be so much about the Fed announcement. This is going to be about Congress not doing anything and just letting all the rates basically, well, let's put it this way. them doing nothing and going home. That's what it looks like to me. And if that's in fact what happens, folks, you know, basically rates go up and sequester is on. What sequester specifically is that there's a huge amount of money that will not be spent ASAP. So that's contracts that basically are not going to, well, they won't get paid, but they won't have the purchase order number also. So the Qs did 36 million shares today. She's going into 70 million. She closed at, she got to a price point of 66.37, which was, no, she got a price point of 66.34. Now, the high of the spike was 66.37. Bottom line, she backed off as she was coming into the October 19th downdraft. And we were into that downdraft, by the way, half the amount of volume. Now, we know in the NASDAQ, what is it all about? Let me tell you something, folks. You know, every day, what happens now is that, of course, when you do the NASDAQ, we have to do Apple because the weighting structure, you know, is still very large. Now, what will end up happening, folks, as Apple gets to lower price, the weighting structure inside the NDX 100 that goes down exponentially also. So right now, what you have, Apple once again got to a price point today of $549.56. Absolutely no volume. We did 21 million shares. The 21 million shares was going against 42 million on the way down, and they hit this thing hard once again. Well, it's up $11, but it's $10 off, $9 off its high. Excuse me, folks. Apple's building huge amount of cause. Looks to me for a very large ABC down. We have the small ABC down inside the larger ABC down. Gold contract. We did with gold out here today. Gold flat market, 73,000 contracts. We're at 1,711. So we'll see whether these lows that were established out here in November 2nd, as well as the 7th of December, if that's going to be enough juice to hold them in. Dollar index. We go take a look at the dollar index. What we have with the dollar index is this. She backs down today, 17,000 contracts. This is very minimal contracts, folks, in the correlation of how we're going up. We're going up with 32,000. You're backing down with 17,000. This dollar wants to get up to the 81.51 area. I expect what you're going to see. You know, we'll see. If we get volume up there, that dollar's going to get on up to the 84 area. Bonds. We could take a look at the bond market. What we did with bonds out here today. She backed down, and there she is, 260,000 contracts. So bonds also are backing down with lighter volume. We're talking about 466,000 the first time. She's going into about 450,000 at the swing low of 148.11. So bonds are building cause, and they're building cause, folks, for higher price. We take a look at some of the high-volume stocks in, well, hey, what did happen is this. When you take a look at the NASDAQ, let's go back to the NASDAQ for a second, because I want to show you something inside the NASDAQ. So in the correlation of what we have been trading, meaning the last week, the NASDAQ volume did go up. We did 1.847. In fact, by this time, it's probably 1.9 or something. Yeah, it's 1.905. But you're still going into the 2 billion. So it did go up. There's no doubt about that. That's where it's going to get, well, yeah, it's a little tricky. There's no two ways about it. But when you have harmony, specifically what I mean by harmony is that the Dow failed, the NASDAQ failed, the S&P failed. Let's go over to the small caps to look at the IWM first. IWM out here traded up 87 cents today, closing at 83.41. And what she was doing, let's see, so she got to 83.56. So she closed, the IWM actually closed over the swing points. She's into the gap. The gap there was 83.45. That's bizarre. Oh, my God. Okay, so we got to 83.56 and closed at 83.41. Well, that's a toss-up. That's saying that the small caps can still get into that 84.15 area, which is higher. We did volume out there of 35 million. She is coming into 53 million, but she's still hanging up there. No doubt about it. She is hanging up there. Some of the high-volume stocks in a low-volume market. We had Microsoft was up 38 cents. You had Clearwire up 28. Dollar General, that got hit out here today. It was down at 363. Oracle was up 27. Citigroup was down 19. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. I know what's going on in your world. Stay right there, folks. Come right back.